Jake Morrison had been staring at the same star chart for 3 hours when the alarms started screaming. The young lieutenant dropped his coffee mug and ran toward the bridge of the human ship Starfire. His boots made loud sounds on the metal floors as he moved through the narrow hallways. Other crew members were running too, but nobody looked scared. They had done this drill many times before. The bridge was full of busy people when Jake arrived. Captain Lisa Hayes stood in the center, giving orders to everyone. Her voice was calm but serious. The main screen showed empty space with tiny dots of light from distant stars. Nothing looked wrong to Jake, but the computers were still making warning sounds. Commander Ryan Bell walked over to Jake with a worried look on his face. He pointed at the screen where a small object was moving slowly through space. It looked like a piece of metal that was spinning end over end. Small pieces were breaking off from it as it moved. Unknown vessel detected at grid 7-4, the computer voice said in its flat tone. Life signs detected aboard the vessel. Hull breach in multiple locations. Vessel is losing atmosphere rapidly. Captain Hayes turned to look at Jake and the other officers. It looks like someone needs help out there. We are the only ship in this area of space. If we do not help them, they will die. She walked over to her command chair and sat down. Jake, get your team ready for a rescue mission. We are going to bring them aboard. Jake felt his heart start beating faster. This was his first real rescue mission since joining the crew 6 months ago. He had trained for this but had never done it with real people in danger. He nodded at the captain and ran toward the shuttle bay to get his equipment ready. The rescue took 2 hours. The alien ship was badly damaged and full of smoke. Jake and his team had to wear special suits to breathe while they searched for survivors. They found only one person alive in the wreckage. She was small and had blue skin that seemed to glow in the dark. Her eyes were closed, and she was not moving when they found her. Dr. Kevin Price was waiting in the medical bay when they brought her aboard. He quickly connected machines to check her health, while Jake stood nearby watching. The alien was breathing, but very weak. Her skin changed from blue to a lighter color as the machines worked to help her. She will be okay, Dr. Price said after looking at his readings. Her people breathe the same air we do, which is very lucky. Her injuries are not serious, but she has been without food and water for several days. The alien woman opened her eyes, slowly, and looked around the room. When she saw Jake standing next to her bed, she made a soft, musical sound and tried to sit up. Dr. Price gently pushed her back down and spoke in a calm voice. "You are safe now," he said. "We found your ship and brought you to our vessel. Do you understand what I am saying?" The woman looked confused and frightened. She made more musical sounds that the computer tried to translate into words. The translation was not very good, but they could understand some of what she was saying. She kept looking at Jake and pointing at him while she spoke. "My name is Princess Zara," the computer voice said as it tried to translate her words. "I am of the royal family of the Etherian Empire. I request protection from the first warrior I see upon waking. This warrior will be my guardian until I can return safely to my people." Jake looked at Dr. Price with surprise. He had never been called a warrior before. The doctor shrugged his shoulders and smiled. Captain Hayes entered the medical bay just as Princess Zara was trying to get out of bed again. "I am Captain Hayes," she said in a friendly voice. "This is my ship, and we are happy to help you. Can you tell us what happened to your vessel?" Princess Zara looked at the captain, but then quickly looked back at Jake. She spoke again in her musical language and pointed at him several more times. The computer struggled to translate her rapid speech. "I will only speak through my chosen guardian," the translation said. "The customs of my people require this. I cannot speak directly to other warriors until my safety is confirmed by my guardian." "Captain." Hayes looked confused but nodded. She turned to Jake and raised her eyebrows. "It looks like you have been volunteered for diplomatic duty, Lieutenant. Can you ask her what happened to her ship?" Jake felt nervous, but stepped closer to Princess Zara. She immediately looked more relaxed when he moved near her bed. He spoke slowly and clearly. "Princess Zara, can you tell us what happened to your ship? Were you attacked by enemies?" The alien princess made several musical sounds and her skin began to glow brighter. The computer translated her response. "My ship was damaged by weapons fire from other Etherian vessels. I was being taken to a prison planet but managed to escape during the attack. I have been drifting in space for many days waiting for death or rescue." The room became very quiet. Jake looked at Captain Hayes, who was frowning. If Princess Zara was running from her own people, then helping her might cause problems for humans. But they could not leave her to die in space. "Why were your own people taking you to prison?" Jake asked. Princess Zara looked sad, and her skin became darker blue. "I discovered something that the rulers of my empire want to keep secret. They call me defective and dangerous. They wanted to lock me away forever so I could not share what I learned." Captain Hayes walked closer to the bed. "What did you discover?" But Princess Zara shook her head and would not answer. She only looked at Jake and made soft musical sounds that the computer could not translate. Dr. Price checked his instruments again and turned to the captain. "She needs rest and food. We can continue this conversation later when she is stronger." As the others left the medical bay, Jake started to follow them, but Princess Zara grabbed his arm. Her hand was warm and her skin glowed where she touched. "Him." She spoke quietly in her own language. "Please do not leave me alone," the computer translated. "I am afraid they will find me." 3 days after the rescue, Princess Zara still would not leave Jake alone. She followed him everywhere on the ship, like a small glowing shadow. When he went to the bridge, she stood quietly behind his chair. When he ate meals in the dining hall, she sat next to him and watched everything he did. At night, she refused to sleep in the guest room Dr. Price had prepared for her. "I must stay near my guardian," she told Jake through the computer translator. "Your customs may be different, but mine require constant protection until safety is confirmed." Jake tried to explain that she was safe on the human ship, but Princess Zara just shook her head. Her skin would glow brighter when she was upset and dimmer when she felt calm. Right now, she was glowing very brightly. The other crew members were starting to notice the strange situation. Commander Bell pulled Jake aside after the morning briefing and spoke in a quiet voice. "Lieutenant, this arrangement cannot continue much longer. The princess is disrupting normal ship operations. Yesterday, she followed you into the engine room, and Chief Collins had to stop work because the alien was touching sensitive equipment." Jake nodded but did not know what to do. Every time he tried to leave Princess Zara somewhere safe, she would make sad musical sounds and her skin would turn dark blue. Dr. Price said this meant she was very frightened. "Maybe if we learn more about her culture, we can find a better solution," Jake suggested. That afternoon, Jake sat with Princess Zara in his small room, trying to understand her people better. She had been working with the ship computer to improve the translation system. Her musical language was very complex, and each tone meant something different. She was much smarter than Jake had first thought. "Tell me about your home," Jake said as he watched her arrange his spare uniforms into a soft pile in the corner of the room. Princess Zara made several musical sounds while her skin showed patterns of light. "Etherian society is built on strict rules about safety and protection. When a person is in danger, they must choose a guardian from among the warriors they trust. The guardian is responsible for keeping them alive until the danger passes." "But there is no danger here," Jake said. "My people will not hurt you." Princess Zara stopped arranging his clothes and looked at him with her large eyes. "The danger is not from your people. The danger is from mine. They will come looking for me, and they will not care if humans get hurt when they take me back." Jake felt cold when he heard this. "Are you saying your people might attack our ship?" "Yes," Princess Zara said simply. "The Etherian Empire does not allow defective royals to live free. They will send ships to bring me home for punishment." That evening, Captain Hayes called a meeting with all the senior officers. Princess Zara insisted on coming with Jake even though she could not speak directly to the others. She sat quietly in a chair next to him while the humans discussed what to do. "We need to contact Earth Command and report this situation, Commander," Bell said. "If hostile aliens are coming to get their princess, we need military backup." Chief Engineer Amy Collins disagreed. "The nearest Earth ship is 3 weeks away. If they come looking for her, we will have to handle the situation ourselves." Dr. Price was studying data about Princess Zara on his tablet computer. "I have been analyzing her biology and behavior patterns. Her people seem to have very advanced technology, but their social structure is primitive. They still use old systems based on fear and control." Princess Zara made soft musical sounds when she heard this. Jake looked at her and saw that her skin was glowing in new patterns he had not seen before. "What is she saying?" Captain Hayes asked. Jake listened as the computer translated. "She says Dr. Price is correct about her people using old ways to control citizens. She also says that humans are different from any species her people have met before." "Different how?" the captain asked. Princess Zara spoke for several minutes while her skin showed complex light patterns. The computer worked hard to translate her rapid speech. "She says most alien species her people have conquered were either very advanced but weak or very strong but primitive. Humans appear to be both strong and smart, which confuses the Etherian leadership. They do not understand how to deal with a species like this." Commander Bell leaned forward in his chair. "Is she saying her people have conquered other aliens?" More musical sounds from Princess Zara and more light patterns on her skin. "Yes, the Etherian Empire controls many worlds and many different species. They use their advanced technology to force others to obey their rules." The room became very quiet. Jake could see that everyone was thinking about what this meant for humanity. If the Etherians were conquerors, then helping their runaway princess could start a war. Captain Hayes stood up and walked around the table. "Princess, we need to know exactly what you discovered that made your people want to imprison you." But Princess Zara shook her head and would only look at Jake. She spoke quietly to him in her musical language. "She says she will only share that information with her guardian when they are alone," Jake translated. "She does not trust anyone else yet." After the meeting, Jake returned to his room with Princess Zara following behind him. She immediately went to the corner where she had built her nest from his clothes and blankets. Jake sat on his bed and watched her arrange everything perfectly. "Now will you tell me what you discovered?" he asked. Princess Zara looked around the room as if checking for hidden listeners. Then she walked over and sat on the floor next to his bed. Her skin began glowing with new patterns that seemed almost like writing. "I discovered how to build machines that can send messages instantly across any distance in space," she said through the translator. "I also learned how to create power sources that never run out of energy. But most importantly, I found out that my people have been lying to everyone for thousands of years." Jake felt his heart beating faster. "What kind of lies?" "The Etherian Empire tells conquered species that they are too primitive to govern themselves. They say only Etherians are smart enough to rule over others. But this is not true. Many of the species they control are actually more advanced than we are. The Empire keeps them down by taking away their technology and making them dependent on us." Princess Zara stood up and walked to the small window in Jake's room. She looked out at the stars, and her skin became very bright. "When I tried to tell the truth about this, the Royal Council declared me defective. They said I was mentally ill and dangerous to the Empire. They were going to put me in a prison where no one could hear my words." Jake understood now why she was so afraid. "And you think they will come after you?" "I know they will," Princess Zara said. "The Empire cannot allow the truth to spread. If other species learn that they are being lied to, there will be rebellions on every world we control." That night, Jake lay awake thinking about everything Princess Zara had told him. In the corner of his room, she slept curled up in her nest of clothes and blankets. Her skin glowed softly in the darkness like a night light. He realized that helping her meant humans would probably have to fight the Etherian Empire eventually, but he also realized that if what she said was true, then someone needed to help all those conquered species learn the truth. Maybe humans were the right people for that job. Jake woke up to find Princess Zara sitting at his desk working with a strange device that looked like a crystal flower. Her fingers moved quickly over its glowing surface, while streams of data appeared on his computer screen. She had somehow connected her alien technology to the human ship systems without asking anyone for permission. "What are you doing?" Jake asked as he sat up in bed. Princess Zara looked at him and her skin showed happy light patterns. "I am learning about your people by reading your databases. Humans are very interesting. You keep records of everything, including your mistakes and failures. Most species hide their shameful history, but you study it and try to learn from it." Jake walked over to look at the computer screen. There were files open about human wars, scientific discoveries, and cultural development. Princess Zara had been reading about everything from ancient Rome to the colonization of Mars. "You should not access our systems without permission," Jake said, but he was not really angry. He was curious about what she had learned. "I am sorry," Princess Zara said, "but I needed to understand what kind of people you are before I show you my real discoveries. What I am about to share with you could change the balance of power in this part of the galaxy." She touched her crystal device, and suddenly, Jake's computer screen filled with technical drawings and mathematical formulas. Jake could not understand most of it, but he could see that it was incredibly complex and advanced. "This is my life work," Princess Zara said proudly. "I spent 15 years developing these technologies in secret. The Etherian government thinks I am just a spoiled princess who plays with science as a hobby. They have no idea what I actually accomplished." Jake studied the diagrams on the screen. "What exactly does this technology do?" Princess Zara stood up and began pacing around the small room. Her skin glowed brighter as she became excited about explaining her work. "The first invention allows instant communication across unlimited distances. Currently, it takes months or years for messages to travel between distant star systems. My device can send messages instantly to anywhere in the galaxy." Jake realized how important this would be for space travel and commerce. That alone would be worth a fortune. "Yes, but there is more," Princess Zara continued. "The second invention harvests energy directly from space itself. One small generator could power an entire planet forever. No more need for fuel or dangerous nuclear reactors." Jake felt overwhelmed by the implications. These technologies would revolutionize civilization for every species in the galaxy. "Why did your government want to suppress this? Would it not make the Etherian Empire more powerful?" Princess Zara stopped pacing and looked sad. Her skin turned darker blue. "That is the problem. These inventions would make the Empire too powerful, but more importantly, they would make every other species equally powerful. The current system only works because the Empire controls who has access to advanced technology." She sat down on her nest of blankets and continued explaining. "If every species could communicate instantly and generate unlimited power, they would no longer need the Etherian Empire to manage their affairs. They could develop their own advanced civilizations and might even surpass us." Jake was beginning to understand. "So your government decided it was better to lock you up than risk losing control over other species?" "Exactly," Princess Zara said. "But I believe that sharing knowledge and technology makes everyone stronger. I studied your human history and saw how much progress you made when different cultures shared ideas with each other. Competition and cooperation both drive innovation." A soft chime from the door interrupted their conversation. Jake called for whoever it was to enter, and Captain Hayes walked in, followed by Dr. Price and Chief Collins. They all looked surprised to see the technical diagrams still displayed on Jake's computer screen. "Lieutenant, We need to discuss your guest situation, Captain Hayes said. We have detected several alien ships approaching our position. They will be here in less than 6 hours. Princess Zara immediately made frightened musical sounds, and her skin began flashing with rapid light patterns. She moved closer to Jake and grabbed his arm. They found me, she said through the translator. The Imperial fleet has come to take me home. Dr. Price stepped forward and looked at the technical data on the computer screen. Princess, are these the inventions you mentioned to Lieutenant Morrison? Princess Zara looked at Jake, who nodded encouragingly. She took a deep breath and answered. Yes, those are my designs for instant communication and unlimited energy generation. Chief Collins pushed past Dr. Price to get a better look at the screen. Her eyes grew wide as she studied the engineering diagrams. This is impossible. According to our physics, these designs should not work. Your physics are incomplete, Princess Zara said simply. There are aspects of energy and space-time that human science has not yet discovered. My people learned these secrets thousands of years ago, but we kept them hidden to maintain our advantage over other species. Captain Hayes sat down in Jake-only chair and looked serious. Princess, if what you are showing us is real, then we need to make some very important decisions very quickly. Those ships coming toward us will not be friendly if they are here to arrest you. Princess Zara walked over to her crystal device and made it display a three-dimensional image in the air above Jake's desk. The image showed 6 large alien ships, moving through space toward their location. Imperial battle cruisers, she said sadly. Each one carries enough firepower to destroy a small planet. Your ship will not be able to fight them. Commander Bell's voice came over the communication system. Captain Hayes, please report to the bridge immediately. We are receiving a transmission from the approaching vessels. As the others left Jake's room, Princess Zara grabbed his hand and looked into his eyes. Jake, there is something else I must tell you. When I chose you as my guardian and you accepted the responsibility, we created a bond that is very important in Etherian culture. What kind of bond? Jake asked. Princess Zara's skin turned a deep purple color that Jake had never seen before. According to our laws and customs, you are now considered my life partner. If my people take me back to face punishment, they will also consider you responsible for my actions while under your protection. Jake felt his stomach drop. Are you saying they will try to punish me too? Yes, Princess Zara said quietly. But there is another option. If we can convince your people to stand with us against the Empire, then we might be able to change everything. Your species has something that could make the difference. What do we have that is so special? Jake asked. Princess Zara smiled and her skin began glowing with warm golden light. Humans do not give up when they believe they are fighting for something right. I have read your history. You have defeated enemies much stronger than yourselves many times by refusing to surrender and finding creative solutions to impossible problems. The ship, shaking slightly, interrupted their conversation. Princess Zara looked frightened and grabbed Jake's arm tighter. They are scanning your vessel, she said. Soon they will demand that you surrender me to them. What will your captain decide to do? Jake looked at the technical diagrams still glowing on his computer screen. He thought about all the alien species living under Etherian control who did not know they were being lied to. He thought about how these inventions could help everyone in the galaxy live better lives. I think, Jake said slowly, that humans are about to show your people why we survived and thrived on one of the most dangerous planets in the galaxy. The bridge of the Starfire was busier than Jake had ever seen it when he arrived with Princess Zara. Every crew member was working frantically at their stations while Captain Hayes stood in the center giving calm orders. The main screen showed the 6 Etherian battle cruisers getting closer to their position. Lieutenant Morrison, report to Tactical Station 3, Commander Bell called out. We need every qualified officer at a control position. Jake helped Princess Zara find a safe place to stand near the back of the bridge before moving to his assigned station. His tactical display showed detailed scans of the approaching alien vessels. Each Etherian ship was 5 times larger than the Starfire and bristling with weapons that could cut through human armor like paper. "Incoming transmission from the lead vessel," Communications Officer Lisa Park announced. "Put it on screen," Captain Hayes ordered. The image of an imposing alien figure appeared on the main display. He had the same blue skin as Princess Zara, but his was marked with dark patterns that looked like scars. His eyes were cold and his expression showed no emotion at all. "I am General Keth of the Etherian Imperial Fleet," the alien commander said in perfect English. "You are harboring a criminal who belongs to our empire. Surrender the defective royal immediately, and your vessel will be allowed to depart unharmed." Captain C. Hayes stepped forward so the alien could see her clearly. "I am Captain Lisa Hayes of the Earth vessel Starfire. The person you are referring to requested asylum under our protection. We do not surrender refugees to anyone without proper legal procedures." General Keth's expression did not change, but Princess Zara made soft, frightened sounds behind Jake. Her skin was flashing with rapid light patterns that the computer could not translate fast enough. "Your primitive legal procedures have no authority over Etherian citizens," General Keth replied coldly. "You have 30 minutes to comply with our demand, or we will take the criminal by force." The transmission ended and the bridge became quiet for a moment. Then Captain Hayes turned to face her crew with a determined look on her face. "All hands prepare for combat operations," she announced. "Chief Collins, I need every defensive system online immediately. Commander Bell, contact Earth Command and transmit our current situation." Jake looked back at Princess Zara, who was now sitting on the floor with her head in her hands. He left his station and walked over to kneel beside her. "Can your technology help us fight them?" he asked quietly. Princess Zara looked up with tears in her large eyes. "My communication device could call for help, but there is no one close enough to arrive in time. My energy generators could power better weapons, but your ship was not built to handle that much power." Dr. Price, who had been listening nearby, stepped closer. "What if we did not put the generators on our ship? Could we use them to power something else?" Princess Zara wiped her eyes and thought for a moment. "Yes, the generators can power any device if properly connected. What are you thinking?" Chief Collins overheard their conversation and joined the group. "I have an idea, but it is very dangerous. We have several mining charges in the cargo bay. They are designed to break apart asteroids for mineral extraction." Jake began to understand what she was suggesting. "You want to turn the mining charges into weapons using Princess Zara energy generators." "Not just weapons," Chief Collins said with a grin. "Super weapons. With unlimited power, we could create explosions big enough to damage those battle cruisers." Captain Hayes walked over to hear the plan. "How long would this take to set up?" "Maybe 20 minutes if Princess Zara helps us with the technical details," Chief Collins answered. Princess Zara stood up and her skin began glowing with determination. "I will help. But you must understand that fighting the Etherian Empire means humanity will become their enemy forever. Are you prepared for that consequence?" Captain Hayes looked around the bridge at her crew. Every person nodded without hesitation. She smiled and turned back to Princess Zara. "Princess, humans have a saying. We do not start fights, but we always finish them. Your people made this personal when they threatened our ship and our guest. The next 20 minutes were the most intense of Jake life. He and Chief Collins worked with Princess Zara to connect her energy generators to the mining charges, while Dr. Price figured out how to launch them at the alien ships. The Princess technology was far more advanced than anything the humans had seen, but she explained everything patiently. The key is creating a resonance frequency that matches the hull composition of Etherian ships, she told them as she made adjustments to the devices. Their armor is very strong, but it has a weakness that can be exploited with the right energy pattern. With 5 minutes left before General Keth's deadline, Jake carried the modified weapons to the launch tubes. Each mining charge was now connected to one of Princess Zara crystal generators and glowing with barely contained energy. "Incoming transmission from Earth Command," Communications Officer Park announced. Admiral Steve Carter's face appeared on a secondary screen. He looked grim, but determined. Captain Hayes, we have been monitoring your situation. The Third Fleet is moving to intercept the Etherian vessels, but we are still 18 hours away. You are authorized to take any action necessary to protect the refugee and your crew. Understood, Admiral, Captain Hayes replied. We are about to show these aliens that humans do not surrender when we are protecting innocent people. General Keth appeared on the main screen again, exactly 30 minutes after his first transmission. Your time has expired. Prepare to be boarded. General Keth, Captain Hayes said in a calm voice, I have a counteroffer for you. Leave our space immediately, or learn why humanity survived to reach the stars despite living on a world that tried to kill us every single day. The Etherian commander actually smiled for the first time during their conversation. Your species fascinates me with its stubborn refusal to accept reality. Very well. We will demonstrate the consequences of defying the Etherian Empire. The alien ships began moving forward to attack positions, but Captain Hayes was ready for them. Launch all modified mining charges. Target the lead vessel's engines and weapon systems. Jake watched on his tactical display as 6 glowing projectiles shot out from the starfire toward the much larger enemy ships. The Etherian vessels tried to shoot down the incoming weapons, but Princess Zara had designed them to be nearly indestructible. The first explosion was like watching a small sun being born in the darkness of space. The lead Etherian battlecruiser shuddered as the supercharged mining charge tore through its hull and destroyed its main engines. The second and third explosions followed quickly after causing massive damage to 2 more alien ships. General Keth face reappeared on screen, and for the first time he looked shocked and angry. Impossible! Your primitive weapons cannot penetrate our shields! Those are not primitive weapons, Captain Hayes replied with satisfaction. Those are human weapons powered by technology your own people tried to suppress. Perhaps you should have listened to Princess Zara instead of trying to silence her. Behind Jake, Princess Zara was glowing so brightly that she lit up the entire bridge. Her skin showed patterns he had never seen before, and she was making musical sounds that seemed almost like laughter. The other ships are retreating, Commander Bell reported. Their formation is breaking apart. On the main screen, Jake could see that the remaining Etherian vessels were moving away from the battle area. 2 of them were badly damaged and trailing, debris behind them as they fled. General Keth made one final transmission before his ship disappeared into hyperspace. This is not over, humans. The Etherian Empire will return with a full battle fleet. You have made enemies of the most powerful force in the galaxy. After the alien ships were gone, Captain Hayes turned to Princess Zara with a smile. Well, Princess, it looks like humanity just declared war on your empire. I hope you have more of those energy generators because we are going to need them. 6 months later, Jake stood on the observation deck of Unity Station, watching human and Etherian engineers work together to install new defense systems. The massive space station had been built in record time using Princess Zara advanced technology combined with human construction techniques. It served as the headquarters for what everyone now called the Free Alliance. Princess Zara walked up behind him carrying a datapad full of reports from across the galaxy. She no longer glowed with fear or nervousness. Instead, her skin showed. The steady golden light that Jake had learned meant she was happy and confident. The resistance networks are reporting success on 47 different worlds, she told him as she handed him the datapad. Species that have been under Etherian control for centuries are finally learning the truth about their situation. Jake scrolled through the reports and shook his head in amazement. I never imagined that one shy alien princess could start a galactic revolution. I was not shy, Princess Zara said with a laugh. I was terrified. There is a big difference. But you taught me that sometimes being afraid is not as important as doing what is right. Through the large windows, they could see human ships working alongside vessels from dozens of different alien species. The Etherian Empire had fractured into competing factions when the revolution began. Many Etherian citizens had joined the rebellion when they learned how their government had been lying to everyone for thousands of years. Captain Hayes, now Admiral Hayes, appeared on the observation deck wearing her new dress uniform. The Free Alliance had made her the supreme commander of all military forces fighting against the remaining Imperial loyalists. "Jake, Princess Zara, we just received word from the Andromedan sector," Admiral Hayes said with excitement. "The Imperial garrison there has surrendered without firing a shot. General Keth forces are down to less than 30 ships total." Princess Zara's skin flashed with happy patterns. "What happened to Keth himself?" "According to our intelligence, he is hiding somewhere in the old Imperial core worlds trying to rebuild his fleet," Admiral Hayes replied. "But most of his former allies have either joined us or declared neutrality. The war is basically over." Jake felt relieved to hear this news. The past 6 months had been full of battles and desperate missions as the Free Alliance fought to liberate oppressed worlds. Humans had quickly become known throughout the galaxy as the species that never gave up and always found a way to win against impossible odds. Dr. Price joined them on the observation deck, carrying his latest research data. He had spent the last half-year studying how different alien species could work together more effectively. His findings had become the basis for the new democratic government structure they were building. "I have the final numbers from our integration program," Dr. Price announced. "Over 300 different species have joined the Free Alliance. The cultural exchange programs are working better than we hoped." Princess Zara looked proud as she listened to the report. Her technology had made it possible for all these different species to communicate instantly across the galaxy and share their knowledge freely. The result had been an explosion of scientific and cultural advancement, unlike anything in recorded history. "What about Earth?" Jake asked. "How are people back home handling all these changes?" Admiral Hayes smiled. "Earth Command reports that applications for space exploration duty have increased by 500%. Apparently, everyone wants to be part of humanity, First Interstellar Alliance." The four friends walked over to a comfortable seating area where they could talk privately. Jake noticed that Princess Zara still preferred to sit close to him, even though she was no longer afraid. Some habits from their early days together had become permanent parts of their relationship. "So what happens now?" Jake asked. "We have defeated the Etherian Empire and created a new democratic alliance of species. What is our next challenge?" Princess Zara activated her data pad and showed them a star map of unexplored regions beyond their current territory. "There are thousands of star systems out there that we have never visited. Some of them probably contain intelligent species that do not even know other civilizations exist." Dr. Price leaned forward with interest. "Are you suggesting we start exploration missions to make contact with unknown species?" "Not just contact," Princess Zara said with excitement. "Partnership. The Free Alliance should be about bringing everyone together as equals. Every species has something valuable to contribute to our shared knowledge and culture." Admiral Hayes nodded in agreement. "The Earth government has already approved funding for 10 new exploration vessels. Each ship will have mixed crews from different Alliance species." Jake felt a familiar excitement building in his chest. "Will we be assigned to one of these missions?" "Actually," Admiral Hayes said with a grin, "you and Princess Zara have been selected to command the first joint exploration mission. The new ship Alliance Hope launches next month with a crew of volunteers from 15 different species." Princess Zara's skin began glowing so brightly that Jake had to squint his eyes. She was clearly thrilled about the possibility of exploring unknown regions of space and meeting new civilizations. "There is one more thing we need to discuss," she said after calming down. "According to Etherian custom, Jake and I are still considered life partners because of the guardian bond we formed during our first meeting. If we are going to command a ship together, the crew should understand our relationship status." Jake felt his face getting warm, but he was not embarrassed. Over the past 6 months, he and Princess Zara had grown very close. She no longer built nests in his quarters, but she still preferred to sleep near him when possible. Their relationship had evolved naturally from protector and refugee to something much deeper. "I think our crew will figure out our relationship pretty quickly," Jake said with a laugh. "You still glow brighter when I am nearby." Dr. Price stood up and looked out at the busy space traffic around Unity Station. "You know, when we first found Princess Zara drifting in that damaged ship, I never imagined it would lead to all this. The best changes often start with simple acts of kindness," Princess Zara said thoughtfully. "Jake chose to help a frightened alien instead of following standard procedures. That decision changed the fate of the entire galaxy." Admiral Hayes checked her watch and stood up to leave. "I have a meeting with the Alliance Council in an hour, but I wanted to give you this before I go." She handed Jake and Princess Zara each a small device that looked like a crystal flower, similar to the ones Princess Zara used for her technology. "These are communication badges that will keep you connected to Alliance Command no matter how far your explorations take you," Admiral Hayes explained. "They use Princess Zara instant communication technology, so there will never be any delay in our messages." After Admiral Hayes and Dr. Price left, Jake and Princess Zara remained on the observation deck watching the sunset through the station windows. The light from the nearby star made Princess Zara's skin shimmer with beautiful colors. "Are you nervous about commanding our own ship?" Princess Zara asked. Jake thought about the question seriously. "A little bit, but I learned something important from our experience with the Etherian Empire. When you are trying to do the right thing, you should not worry too much about whether you are qualified or ready. You just have to trust yourself and the people working with you." Princess Zara moved closer to him and took his hand. Her skin glowed warmly where they touched. "I used to be afraid of everything. My own people, other species, making mistakes, being different from what others expected. But you taught me that being different can be a good thing if you use your differences to help others." Jake squeezed her hand gently. "And you taught me that sometimes the most important discoveries come from the most unexpected places. A shy alien princess hiding in my quarters turned out to be the key to liberating half the galaxy." They sat together in comfortable silence as the stars began appearing in the darkness outside the station. Somewhere out there among those distant points of light were civilizations waiting to be discovered and new friends waiting to be made. The Free Alliance was still young, and there would be many challenges ahead. But Jake felt confident they could handle whatever they encountered. After all, humans had already proven they could turn a simple rescue mission into a galactic revolution. What other impossible things might they accomplish with the right alien princess as their partner?